Giant Steps is an organisation that was developed 22 years ago by a group of parents who were looking for an option for their young people with autism. Autism is a lifelong neurological disability. It is probably the most misunderstood disability because it sits in that social communication domain, and that's the major part of the disability. We have a number of corporate sponsors who are incredibly valuable, and particularly corporate sponsors like FGX.
My name is Louise Walsh and I'm the CEO of the Future Generation Investment Companies. From a non-profit point of view, one of the biggest struggles is finding ongoing sustainable funding. Your average corporate or philanthropic funder might agree to support a non-profit for 1 year, for 3 years, maybe 5 years, but typically they won't make any commitment longer than that. It's quite short-term funding. So what we've done is we've got a group of fund managers together who've agreed to waive their fees. So they're acting pro bono, and as a result of that incredible generosity, we donate 1% of our assets each year to 14 youth at risk charities, and Giant Steps was fortunate enough to be one of those.
The demand for our service is just enormous. And in 2016, the FGX money was that investment that we needed to actually start another school. It was incredibly satisfying to see our second donation for Giant Steps be put towards seed funding the opening of their Melbourne school. Our chairman flew down, found it incredibly rewarding to be there and to see the bricks and mortar and the start of something special.
Funding from FGX also enables more speech pathologists to work in the schools. It allows us to expand our skills and knowledge. Students that have previously been quite withdrawn have now come to a point where they're starting to initiate more appropriate means of communication. We're seeing kids who are more empowered, and that ultimately leads to happier children.
Corporate sponsors like FGX, they're an invaluable contributor. Certainly they're committed to social investment and actually improving the lives of young people with autism and mental health across Australia, which is extraordinary.
In just 3 years, the total donation has been $500,000. But we don't just want to be a funder. We feel really strongly and passionately about the organisations that we fund, and we'd like to continue with very long-term funding. These companies are set up in perpetuity. So as long as children at risk, youth mental health is an issue in our society or our community, FGX and FGG will continue to fund in those cause areas for way after we've gone.